Deja, whatever y'all call me. I'm feeling disturbed right now, so I had to touch base on some things. Y'all know when something is really bothering me, I have to get it off my chest. I'm on TikTok, and I'm looking at some of the videos, and one had me laughing, but then I looked at another one, and it had me very upset with the way things are being done today in this era. The reason being is because a lot of the tweens, teens, and young adults are feeling ugly. Okay? And they're wondering when they're going to get their glow up, is what the post was. The TikTok. It was 841 people that did this TikTok. Okay. And I did a TikTok the other day. Okay. Where I was tapping on the screen, and then I said at the end of the TikTok, and I'm still ugly. People think, okay, that parading their pretty is okay, you know. And it really is, it's not, because you got to think about the people that may not have the things that you have to look the way you look. Okay. Me personally, I can be normal one day and then I can have my glow up the next day. Okay. That's because I'm comfortable in my skin. Okay. Now, for these kids to say, when am I going to get my glow up? That means there's self-esteem issues. Okay. And this is why it's not sitting with me well, because we do not need the next era of children growing up with self-esteem issues. Not at all. Okay, so we have to nip this in the bud now. Stuff like this can cause suicide. It can cause children to make the wrong decisions. It could just cause so much trauma in a person, and we need to nip this in the bud. Okay? Now, people have the tendency, when they're jealous of you, to say negative things, like you're ugly, you're fat, you're black, you're this, you're that, Then, back in my mother's era, they had people believing that light-skinned and white women were better than black women. Okay? Now we're at an era where black women stand. Okay? Granted, I'm in the middle, unless I sit in the sun for a very long time, then I can get very, very dark. However, brown skin is beautiful, okay? I don't care what your features are. Brown skin is beautiful because we don't really have to put color on it to look good. That's number one. Okay, number two is you have to build your self-esteem. Now, a lot of these kids today are dealing with parents with low self-esteem, okay? Or parents that just don't care, okay? And they may not have the things that other children have. Now, I'm going to use my kids for instance, okay? My son, my oldest son, and all my kids went through, they felt ugly spurts, okay? But they came up out of it. My son, my oldest son, my only son, he felt like he was ugly because he had a mole on his face. And I brought to his attention other people that were celebrities that had moles on their face. And they still could become a celebrity. You can still look good. However, he felt in his heart, he needed to have it removed. So, granted, I personally, as a parent, listened to my child and worked with him and had it removed. Okay? To make him feel better about himself. Now, the reason why I'm telling y'all this story is because parents, if you know that your child, and I looked at another post as well, where a teen was saying, or I don't know if she's a teen or a young adult, she was saying that most children don't talk to their parents because their parents are always running their mouths to their family members or whoever else about what the child has told them or how they feel. It's wrong. Okay? It's wrong. What y'all doing to these kids is wrong. And y'all need to know it, and I'm here to tell y'all. It's wrong. I don't have the perfect kids, but I listen to my children and I teach my children. This is why the children in the communities love me so. Okay? Because I give them time to be themselves. Okay? I show them love. Okay? And no matter what community I go in, this is what I do. Because a lot of parents today do not give their children love. Unconditional love. Where a child can express themselves. Now, some of my children, they have gotten so comfortable with me. They express themselves so much. They tell me too much sometimes, And I just be like, oh, okay. But I listen. Because I need to know how they're feeling and why they're feeling the way they feel. Another one of my children, he had an issue about him being thick. Okay, he was thick as a child. But he was the cutest little thing. He had pretty long hair, kept his hair braided very long. He has pretty brown eyes, fair complexion, but he was just thick. And he had a self-esteem issue. Okay? He didn't want to be Hispanic. Okay? I don't know what's the problem, why he didn't want to be Hispanic. He wanted to be black, which he still is, However, he was going through this I'm ugly stage. But he was the cutest thing. Okay? He just didn't see it and he couldn't feel it. And that comes with self-esteem. Okay? Everyone has a glow up. Everyone. But you have to feel that glow up. It has to be within you. And if you have been beaten down mentally because people are constantly saying, hey, you're ugly or you're fat or you black, it's going to pull your self-esteem down. Now, I've been through it. Y'all even seen online where people have called me names and it doesn't bother me. And I'm going to tell you why. It doesn't bother me. Because I already know that I'm not ugly. I may take some pictures and look crazy. And I don't even care. Because I know in reality, in real life, I'm not ugly. I have a pure soul and my face ain't ugly either. I know y'all wonder how I personally can get through it. How am I so strong? Because I've been through so much. When a person says something negative to me, I don't even pay it any mind. Granted, some of the things that I've been through, y'all wouldn't be able to even get through it. Okay? Especially if you have any self-esteem issues. Self-esteem issues can affect everything about you. It could affect the way you perform at work. It could affect the way you perform at school. It could affect everything in your life. And that's the wrong thing for parents and people around you to constantly put you down as this wrong. It's wrong. And you have to say to yourself, I'm not listening to them. I'm going to blank them out. You know, Charlie Brown, womp, 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 womp. That's what you got to hear when people are talking. Because their self-esteem is so low, they want to make yours be the same way. You have to feel good within your soul. Now, I tell my other child, because my other child is going through it as well. You know, she doesn't understand why she's thick, you know, and she wants her hair to be a certain way, you know, and it's understandable. Kids see other people and see other things, you know, and they want it. But God made us all unique. And he did that for a reason, so we can all have our own identity. You don't want to be like the next person. You want to have your own identity. Okay? So when you're out here and you seeking who you want to be, do what makes you feel comfortable. Because if it makes you feel comfortable, that's when your glow up comes. If you're uncomfortable, that's when the problems set in. I'm going to use my daughter for instance. She doesn't like to wear jeans, okay? And her father, he's from the old school. He wants to buy her jeans. She likes to wear big clothes because she's thick. But that's what makes her feel comfortable. You have to allow kids to be who they are. And this is going out to the adults, the parents. You have to allow that, people. Because if you don't, you're going to have a child that's a mess. Okay? And I'm just be honest with you. This next era will determine the parenting of the children. And with all these children feeling, and some of them might have just did the TikTok just to do it because they know other people that's been through that or is going through it or might have committed suicide because of it. However, this TikTok is real life. Kids every day feel like this. People feel like this, that they're ugly. You have to work on your self-esteem. That's key one. You have to, even if you have to write it down and post it all over your house. Who you are and who you want to be and who you are going to design yourself to be. You know, I met this guy 7 years back. And I had said to him, I'm designed to be like this. And he couldn't understand where I was coming from. Who I built myself to be. He wasn't smart enough to understand that. And the thing about it is, he's a very wealthy man, and he just couldn't understand what I was saying to him. You have to design yourself to be who you want to be and be comfortable with it. When you're comfortable with who you design yourself to be, you won't feel ugly. You will always have the glow up, no matter where you go and what you do. Now, me personally, I design myself to try to be honest, loving, caring, a good parent, a good wife or girlfriend, a good friend to my friends. This is who I wanted to be. When I was coming up and I'm watching people, because what we do is we grab a hold of things from other people. And we hold on to that. And if it looks good to us, that's who we become. Okay? But if you don't want to be that person, then change it. It's up to you. Now, we want to talk about the clothes thing. The clothes, The kids have these things where if they don't have a certain type of house, certain type of clothes, certain type of look, they're just not it. And social media does this to people. Okay, and this is why I tell people get off of social media. If you having self-esteem issues, stay off of social media. Because it will depress you. If you're having those self-esteem issues. Get your character together, who you want to be, who you want to design yourself to be. Okay? If you the type of person that you feel like, okay, matter of fact, I was looking at the 3 boys at the college. They want to be doctors and scientists. This is who they design themselves to be. This is their goal on their lives. They made the choice of becoming doctors and scientists. Okay? It's like I designed myself to be, how can I say it? I don't want to mess it up. I designed myself to be a leader in my communities and to help the youth. Help those that can't help themselves. Give knowledge and understanding so they can move forward and give them enough love to move forward. Because sometimes that's one of the things that we're lacking. We're lacking love. And society is so messed up today where people think that because you get likes on Facebook or views or, on social media, that makes you, as they call it, popping. That doesn't make you popping because you have 1 million likes or 1 million views on Facebook. Because that's fake. That's people that don't even know your character just because they like your look. They're liking you. They're liking it. But when you get around real people, do they really like you? That's the question. Do they like your attitude? Because every time we get in front of the camera, we put on a character. Okay? That's just what it is. We go into character. Me, I can act out on camera, and I can be humble on camera because I go into character. But then if you see me at home, I'm real calm, laid back, chill person. Because that's social media. It's a camera. It's character. Just like on TV. You create a character, and that's who you're going to be. But in real life, who are you? Have you designed yourself to be a real person or a character? Okay? So you gotta look at these things. You gotta say to yourself, when I put up pictures, and I'm gonna use me again. When I put up pictures and I'm just sitting in the car and I take a picture and throw it out there to y'all, that's who I am. I'm very laid back. I'm very chill. I don't like ruckus. I don't like chaos. I don't like too much drama. Pretty much no drama. That's who I am. Then when I get, as y'all call, glowed up, I'm in character. Do you see? So you got to understand who you want to be here. And they have y'all kids confused. This is why I feel like the government needs to take social media away. The reason why they haven't is because it helps people from other countries stay connected to their families and their friends. People that you haven't seen for years. And I even experienced where I haven't seen people for 30, 40 years. But because of social media, I get to see them. I have a friend in DR. Very cool friend that I was friends with as a child. I couldn't go over to DR, but I get to see him on Facebook every single day. So I get it. But social media has turned into, I don't know what to call it. It's just terror. It's hell for a lot of people. And those with low self-esteem need to stay off of it. Now, TikTok gave us a platform where we were able to be ourselves. You still can't be yourself because you are in character when you're using other people's voices and other people's things. Now, when I get on TikTok and I talk, I'm me, they don't allow me to be me. I have to be in character in order to go on TikTok. Now, you see what they have stolen from me? This is what they're doing to y'all. But you can't let it bother you because it's just social media. Majority of the people that's on social media are fake anyway. You don't know who they really are. They can tell you anything. Is it true? You don't know until you really know these people or meet these people. You can't allow people that don't know you personally to down you mentally and physically. You cannot let the people around you, even with parents, some parents do it, constantly calling their children names and going off on them and saying they ugly and they this and they that. That can be down your self-esteem. Because anything that's drilled into your head, you start to believe it. And if you're not strong enough, you can't fight it. And that's what social media is doing to a lot of our children. Getting to the clothes side of things. We know sometimes people can't afford certain things that they may see on social media. Some kids may not even get money, or have parents that will say, hey, let's go out and buy a kid this. Let's buy a kid that. A lot of people was mad with me, and I'm going to tell a story. Even though I was able to afford to have a contract phone, I chose not to allow other people to see that even though I'm a music artist and I work, I don't have to be like everybody else. I can do my own thing. I needed to show y'all that because people feel like, how can I explain it? And I want y'all to understand where I'm going with this. They feel like because you make music or you work at a certain type of job, you're supposed to have everything. And then that creates jealousy. But if I have nothing, what is there to be jealous of? So do y'all get where I'm going with this? The less I have, there's no reason for y'all to be jealous. Having people jealous of you is worse than being ugly. Whether you know it or not. Because then you got to deal with the people wanting to hurt you because you are so pretty. You have to deal with the people hating you because you have so much. You have the people that want to take from you because you're a little bit wealthier than they are. You have the people that want to make up lies to hurt you. So sometimes being ugly ain't that bad. So do y'all get where I'm going with this? You feel more pain sometimes being pretty. As what y'all call pretty. Because everyone has a unique look. Everyone. Even a dog. You look at some dogs and you be like, he's kind of funny looking, but I see the cute. Everybody has their own unique look. It's all on how you carry your self-esteem. No matter what you look like. If you're comfortable in your skin, you're going to be beautiful anyway. So first you have to work on your self-esteem. Who you want to be. Who you want to design yourself to be. That's step one. If you're feeling down, you need to talk to someone. Maybe you could talk to a teacher, because some kids can't talk to their parents because their parents is ignorant. So you have teachers, counselors. Even if you need to email me, I'm here to listen and understand how you feel. I interact with people on Facebook, Instagram, on a regular basis. And the reason why is so they will feel like they're somebody. I even dress down sometimes. You know, and a lot of my peers, they're angry with me because I do a lot of the things that the kids do. And I do it because I want y'all to feel comfortable in your skin and make y'all feel like what y'all doing is nothing wrong with it. They were mad with me because I didn't want to comb my hair today because a lot of the kids, they do that. They don't want to comb their hair. I get it. Y'all rushing around. Y'all got to do this. You got to do that. You don't want to comb your hair. They get mad with me because I didn't want to comb my hair. I understand them. And this is why they wanted to keep me in for another era. Because I understand them. I take my time out to study. What is wrong? Why are you going through what you're going through? Why is life so hard for you? I get it. This is why I make these podcasts for you guys. I have dedicated my life. I could be doing other things. I watch social media, seeing what's going on, what I see, talk about it, even deal with some of the people's issues if I have to, because of the way of the world. And it's sad that these kids do not have enough support. When I was coming up, I had so much support, it was unreal. Ain't no way in the world anyone could tell me that I wasn't supported or people didn't love me. Ain't no way in the world a person could say that to me. That's why some of these people, I don't want to name no names, I look at them like they stupid when they say certain things. They look like fools. Because they don't know who I really am. They going based on the characteristics of some liars that they met, or some people that was jealous, or some people that just hated the fact that I was loved so much, and still is. We laugh at those type of people. Because what's done in the dark will always come to the light. What's said behind closed doors will always come out into the open. So I don't let it bother me. People hurt themselves. You allow them to. Especially if you know what type of person you are and who you designed yourself to be. You got some people design themselves to be, they want to be out and about in all of the doings and everywhere and, taking trips or whatever. Then you got some people that just want to do family things. Everybody has their thing that they want to do and how they do it. You have some people, they just want to go to work and come home. That's what they're comfortable with. That's what they design themselves to be. You got some people, every Friday they got to have some friends over. You got some people, they want to do community things. You have some people that want to go to school and continue to go to school and go to school and go to school. You got some people that dedicate their lives to cooking. Everybody has their own thing, and you just have to figure out who you want to be. That's it. And then you won't feel ugly anymore. You won't feel depressed. Now, my daughter kind of pissed me off the other day because she's on Roblox, and Roblox is getting in my pockets heavy, and I'm upset about it. And I love Roblox because they support me heavy. They've been supporting me before I even started supporting them. So, anybody that support me, I support them, okay? And if a company is supporting me, that's big. You know what I mean? So, I said to myself, okay, I'll let you support them. I'll let you play the games. I'll let you do this, but they're getting in my pockets heavy. So now I'm feeling like, ooh, we got to fall back on this Roblox. But my daughter said to me, but Mommy, it keeps me from being depressed. And I'm like, well, why are you depressed? I need to know. She couldn't give me an answer. I figure part of the COVID is part of it. Excuse me, I'm a little sleepy. The COVID is probably a part of it. Always being home, and we have to stay secluded from people, and we can't do a lot of the things we want to do. That's probably part of it. I don't know. She hasn't talked to me about the depression part yet. However, if something makes you happy, then I'm not saying go broke, but enjoy yourself, because that's what life is about. Being happy and whatever makes you happy. But you can't become an addict of it. You know how you got people that gamble and they will spend so much money, they spend their rent money, they spend everything and mess up all the money because they're an addict of whatever makes them happy, makes their soul sit on fire. Some things, sometimes we have to fight. And I want to say this to the parents. Just because you was raised a certain way don't always mean it was the right way. Because you got to remember, if we're trying to break generational curses from 3, 4, 5, even 6 eras behind, that means that they wasn't raising us properly. If we're trying to break some of the things that they've done. So you have to change the way you raise your children, people. Listen to your kids. I know back then, they didn't listen to the kids. Kids stay in, what they say? Kids are made to be seen and not heard. Well, I changed that in my family. I changed that with my kids. When I had my children, I allowed them to speak to me and tell me how they feel, what's going on. Even though they still hide some things from me because they're afraid that I'm going to go ballistic or crazy. And I might with some of the stuff that they be telling me. It don't be because of them. It be because of the outsiders. But they still come to me eventually and tell me what's going on. You have to allow your children to be free, people. Especially with their parents. When they don't have nothing and nobody else, they have their parents. We have to learn to take time out for our family. I know it's hard. People, they got us running around. We got to work. We got to do all this stuff. Husband and wife got to work these days. Well, husband can't take care of home by himself. So the wife now, she has to pick up a part-time job and work. So nobody's really home. The kids is really taking care of themselves. You know, we don't know what's going on with the kids. You know, the kids are going through things and we don't know. And then the parent come home and they're like, okay, well, why did my child kill herself? You wasn't paying attention. Or you was too scared to handle whatever situation that they was going through. Or the child didn't feel comfortable enough to come to you and say they was going through an issue. You know, I'm going to tell you this story. One of my kids, they would get in trouble, right, by the teacher in school. And they would say, oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back. They would get into, say, a fight. And I'd say, well, you want me to go talk to the parent? You want me to handle it so you don't have to fight and be, you know, out there with the ruckus or whatever? No. I got to fight because if I don't, they're going to call me a punk and then they're going to bully me. So you see how I raised my kids not to fight, to be calm, talk things out. But in society, my kids are taught, if you don't fight, you're going to be bullied. So all the hard work that I put in went where? Nowhere. Because the streets taught my children something else. So people, we all have to be on the same page. Okay, when it comes to raising our children. Because then they're going to encounter heartbreak. We're teaching them one way, and then they get out there, and it's something else. And the reason why I had tried that is because I had told my daughter, my oldest child, somebody mess with you in school, if they hit you, hurt you, you hurt them back. But she was always in trouble. Because when somebody did something to her, she was hurting them back. So I said, okay, I got to change this up here. So my next child, I taught them peace. But then the streets taught them something different. So what am I to do? Yes. Huh? Now I got another one I got to teach here. And I'm hoping by the time he gets in school, parents would have worked on teaching their children not to hit, not to bite, to express themselves, so people would know what's going on with them. Because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. People could come outside and look like the nicest people. They can be dressed, look like money, be in the finest cars. And some of these kids are going home to horror. Horror that creates mental issues, low self-esteem, heartbreak. So this is what we have to deal with on a regular basis when we step in the street and have to deal with people. You don't know who you come in encounter with. I can teach my child one thing and turn around and they go to, like, I'm going to use this for instance. I've never fed my kids beef and pork because I don't eat beef and pork. Okay? And my kid would go to somebody else's house and say, Ma, I had some pork chops. I said, you don't eat pork. Yes, I do because I ate it. Why you ain't tell them you didn't eat pork? Well, I did, but they ain't listen. They just told me to eat. So I ate because I was hungry. Now my child has been exposed to something that I didn't want them to be exposed to. Do y'all get where I'm going with this? So now the child is trying to figure it out. And try to understand, well, why they eat pork, but we don't eat pork? Why they eat beef and we don't eat beef? Now I have to tell my child, well, it's a choice for you. I'm not buying it, but if you go on the street, it's your choice. Because you done had it already. You know what it tastes like. People, we just have to, we have to be aware of what we're doing. And how we're acting and why. And then this is from children to adults. Because I see a lot of these adults affects their development. We have to pay attention to the babies. Talk to them. Even if we don't understand what they're saying. We want them to be able to communicate and not be afraid to communicate. This is Jacqueline Richard Simmons, JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja. If you're ever feeling like you're ugly, ever feeling down, depressed, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will listen. I will try to help you the best way I can. Y'all take care and have a good night.